God's plans are often mysterious, unfolding in ways that leave us in awe of His divine wisdom. Throughout history, He has chosen individuals to serve as beacons of faith, guiding others toward Him. And sometimes, He reveals glimpses of His plan through extraordinary signs that remind us that His hand is at work, even in the modern age. One such sign appeared in the life of a young man named Carlo Acutis, a boy born in 1991, yet already deeply connected to the eternal truths of the Church. Carlo's life was anything but ordinary. From an early age, he radiated a love for God that inspired everyone around him. He had a special devotion to the Eucharist, which he called his highway to heaven. Imagine that, a teenager in a world full of distractions, setting his heart so firmly on God. But Carlo's story is not just about his faith. It is also about a prophecy, a dream given to his mother, Antonia Salzano. In this dream, she saw Saint Francis of Assisi, the beloved saint of peace and simplicity, who revealed something astonishing about Carlo's future. A future that, at the time, seemed unimaginable. What could this dream mean? And how did it point toward Carlo's ultimate destiny? As we unravel this story, we will journey through Carlo's life, his unwavering faith, and the incredible ways God worked through him. We will see how his mother's dream, once shrouded in mystery, came to be fulfilled. Stay with us as we dive into the life of Blessed Carlo Acutis, a modern-day saint, a beacon of hope, and a reminder that holiness is within reach for all of us. In the tranquil silence of prayer, we often seek signs from God, a whisper of reassurance, a glimmer of His plan for us. For Antonia Salzano, Carlo Acutis' mother, such a sign came in an extraordinary and unexpected way. It wasn't just a fleeting thought or a passing feeling. It was a vivid, unforgettable dream, a divine encounter with one of the Church's most beloved saints. One night, Antonia dreamed of Saint Francis of Assisi, the humble and holy man who renounced worldly riches to embrace a life of poverty and devotion to God. In the dream, Saint Francis appeared radiant, his presence both comforting and profound. He spoke to her, not in riddles, but in a clear, prophetic message. He revealed that her son, Carlo, would one day play an important role in the life of the Church. Imagine the wonder, the awe, and yes, even the confusion Antonia must have felt upon waking. At the time, Carlo was just a child. How could she possibly understand what this vision meant? Her son was bright and kind, yes, but he was also just a boy who loved computers, who enjoyed playing soccer, and who was growing up like any other child in Milan. And yet, here was Saint Francis, one of the Church's greatest saints, pointing toward Carlo's future as if it were already written in the stars. But as the years passed, Antonia began to see glimpses of what Saint Francis had foretold. Carlo's love for God wasn't just a phase or a habit encouraged by family. It was something far deeper, something extraordinary. He displayed a wisdom beyond his years, speaking about the Eucharist with a conviction that inspired everyone who heard him. He once said, "The Eucharist is my highway to heaven," a phrase that would come to define his life and mission. Was this dream just a comforting vision, or was it truly a divine sign, preparing Antonia for the holiness that would shine through her son? As we move forward, we'll uncover more about Carlo's life and how this dream began to take shape in reality, one remarkable step at a time. Carlo Acutis was born on May 3, 1991, into a world much like ours, filled with the hum of modern life and the distractions of technology. But from the very beginning, it was clear that Carlo was no ordinary child. He grew up in Milan, Italy, in a family that, like many today, struggled to stay deeply connected to the faith. Yet, even in this environment, Carlo seemed to carry within him a light that could not be dimmed. By the time he was just a little boy, Carlo displayed a unique sensitivity to the presence of God. While other children might rush through prayers or see Sunday Mass as an obligation, Carlo was different. He would eagerly attend daily Mass and linger in Eucharistic adoration. He often said, "Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist," and we are so blessed to have him with us. To Carlo, the Eucharist wasn't just a symbol. It was the living heart of his faith, a truth he would later call his highway to heaven. Carlo's love for God extended to his devotion to the Virgin Mary. He prayed the Rosary daily, finding in Mary a spiritual mother who guided him closer to her Son. His faith wasn't something he kept to himself, either. Carlo had a gift for sharing his joy in the Lord with others. Whether it was his classmates at school or adults in his parish, people couldn't help but be drawn to his infectious enthusiasm for the faith. But Carlo wasn't just a boy of prayer. He was also deeply immersed in the modern world, excelling in school and cultivating a talent for technology. He loved computers and used them not for self-indulgence, but as a tool to evangelize. By the time he was a teenager, Carlo had created a website cataloging Eucharistic miracles from around the world. His goal? To help others discover the beauty and reality of Christ's presence in the Eucharist. Even as a child, Carlo seemed to understand what so many of us struggle to grasp, that holiness isn't about grand gestures or lofty titles. It's about living each day with love, with purpose, and with a heart centered on God. He once said, "We are all born original, but many die as photocopies." Carlo's originality lay in his ability to embrace his faith with such authenticity that it touched everyone around him. Little by little, Carlo's life began to reveal the truth of the prophecy shared in his mother's dream. Antonia began to see signs of what Saint Francis had foretold. His unwavering devotion to the Eucharist, his compassion for others, and his innovative way of sharing the faith all pointed to something extraordinary. Carlo's life was a quiet unfolding of God's plan, each moment drawing him closer to the mission his mother's dream had hinted at. And she saw that until the very end, when her son Carlo joined Jesus in heaven. The life of Carlo Acutis, filled with faith, love, and sacrifice, has inspired millions around the world. From his deep devotion to the Eucharist to his profound message that holiness is within reach, Carlo's story has touched hearts and reignited a longing for God in countless souls. And now, his journey has reached a moment of extraordinary significance, a moment that fulfills not only the hopes of his family and the faithful, but also the prophetic dream given to his mother. In 2020, Carlo Acutis was beatified by Pope Francis in Assisi, the very town of St. Francis, whose intercession and presence in Antonia Salzano's dream had foretold Carlo's mission. That day marked an important milestone, as the Church officially recognized Carlo's life as one of heroic virtue. But the story didn't end there. During a Mass on November 2024, Pope Francis made a momentous announcement. Speaking with joy and conviction, he declared that Carlo Acutis would be canonized in 2025, during the Jubilee year, a time when the Church celebrates the extraordinary graces of God's mercy and love. This announcement was met with an outpouring of joy from Catholics worldwide, especially from young people who see Carlo as a model of holiness for their generation. The timing of this announcement is no coincidence. The Jubilee year, a time of renewal and spiritual revival, aligns perfectly with Carlo's message of returning to God through the Eucharist and embracing holiness in our everyday lives. His canonization will serve as a beacon of hope, a reminder that even in our modern age, saints walk among us, showing us the way to Christ. For Antonia, the fulfillment of the prophecy in her dream is nothing short of miraculous. Imagine the journey she has walked, from a young mother receiving a vision of Saint Francis, to watching her son grow into a young man of extraordinary faith, and now witnessing the Church recognize him as a saint. It is a testament to God's divine providence, working through even the most unexpected moments to reveal his glory. As the Church prepares to celebrate Carlo's canonization, we are invited to reflect on the meaning of sainthood in our own lives. Carlo's story is not just about him. It is about all of us. His life and his canonization remind us that God continues to raise up saints in every generation, calling each of us to live with the same love and devotion that defined Carlo's journey. The announcement of Carlo's canonization is more than a celebration of his life. It is a call to action, a call to deepen our faith, to renew our love for the Eucharist, and to embrace our own path to holiness. As we look forward to the Jubilee year and the official recognition of Carlo Acutis as a saint, let us also look inward, asking ourselves how we can live more fully for Christ in the ordinary moments of our lives. Carlo Acutis' life reminds us that holiness isn't something distant or unattainable. It's about loving God in the little things, trusting Him in the trials, and letting His light shine through our daily lives. From the prophecy revealed to his mother, to his unwavering devotion to the Eucharist, to the joy of his upcoming canonization, Carlo's story shows us that God's plans are always perfect and filled with grace. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and explore our other videos to deepen your faith and grow closer to God. Share Carlo's story with your family and friends, and let his life inspire even more hearts. May God bless you abundantly, and see you in our next video.